Welcome to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. If you're passionate about Central Florida theme parks like we are, then you've come to the right place. Now on to the show. Here's your host, Bill Balcerski.
Universal Disney Nuts. I am Bill, your host. Welcome back to the Tiki Bar, everybody. UDN live on this very cloudy and overcast Florida day.
Yes.
It's wintry.
Yeah, I guess it's got that winter feel to it.
It's except as Bill wants.
We'll go with that.
Skipping the cold weather and hypothermia.
Like I said, the closest the Bill can get.
That's right. That's about as close as I want to get. Trust me, this winter is going to be brutal up there, bro. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We've got a ton of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
As you know, Tanya and I have returned from the Disney Wish, and we have got a ton of stuff to talk about. All we can say is, wow.
Yeah.
Just
that
wow.
That was pretty amazing.
So much to talk about this week. We've had a wonderful vacation, lots going on in the park, so we're going to kind of just get into it here. So our podcast isn't 4.5 hours. Talk more about our cruise when we get to her. When we got back from our cruise, we had an opportunity to go see Give Kids the World.
Yes.
Over at H2O Water Park.
Island H2O, yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Favorite place.
Bro, I hope this place is a parking lot in like 2 years. No lie. Seriously.
World's largest tiki bar.
I mean, oh my God. Right. So Give Kids the World, obviously, you know, is our favorite sponsor. We love doing things for them. It's an amazing program. Go check them out. GiveTheKidsTheWorld.org. And it is amazing. So,
but with that said,
well, here's the thing. We're going to give a little background information. So every year for the last 3 years or so, they just started this not too long ago.
Right before COVID.
Right.
I think,
Disney gave the Osborne Festival lights to them.
Yeah.
So that they can put on this show and collect funds to help support terminally ill kids that come down and visit the parks. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Give Kids the World, the program is they house and fund terminally ill kids to come down to Central Florida to experience the parks. The housing's free. The tickets are free. Everything is free so that you give the kids the memories, right? Super awesome program. We love them so much. And last year, they did it actually in the place where everybody stays, the neighborhood. It was phenomenal. I mean, just top notch across the board. So when we heard this year that it wasn't going to be there, we were kind of wondering what the deal was. According to intel that we received in the park, it was a last minute thing. They had to put it together. They really didn't have a place.
It was going to be canceled. And then Island H2O stepped in and said, hey, we'll host it for you.
We're going down in flames. You should hook up with us so we stay in business. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from.
It was very beneficial. It was very nice of them to be able to do that.
Yes, it was very nice of them to try to save their water park.
Oh, my God.
So last minute, they had to figure out what they were going to do because the community in which these kids stay in is now back at 100% after COVID, right? So they didn't want to disturb the kids. They didn't want to have all this chaos and people walking through the neighborhoods in all hours of the night. So they had to figure out what to do because they're back at 100%. So in comes Island H2O Water Park, and they said, well, you can just have it in our water park. And you just move the lights, decorate our water park, and whatever funds we raise, we'll give to the charity.
Yeah.
Good on H2O for doing that.
Yeah, everything still benefits Give Kids the World.
Yeah, 100% goes to them.
And truth be told, it was a last minute thing. It was very put it together. Let's just kind of put a bow on this and put it out there. So,
and it was still really pretty. I mean, it's Christmas lights.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still really pretty.
And you're trying to move it from physical houses to water slides, so it's not like it's going to transfer over as nice. Well,
that's about as much of positive news that I could say about it. I'm not going to sit here and trash Give Kids the World. Not at all. In fact, we made a sizable donation to them. I am not a fan of Island H2O, as you know. I felt like it was just cheaply thrown together. There was no real organization to it. It felt like it was done half-assed.
Yeah.
And it really, compared to last year, it really went downhill. But under the circumstances, I understand.
Yeah.
And knowing that all the money went to the kids anyway, does it really matter? No, it doesn't really matter.
No, I mean, there was still a lot of entertainment and everything else that was going on throughout.
Really? Were you there? Because I don't remember seeing any entertainment.
There was a DJ that was playing, and then they had the cast that was dressed up like the reindeer.
Awkward silence. Are you calling that entertainment?
There was other stuff that was going on throughout the evening as well. Just
a guy at a laptop playing music, and so a couple of dudes dancing around in Christmas outfits. I don't call that entertainment.
Bill's normal evening.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. So it was a good evening. We had a great time. Lots of pretty lights, but it didn't work.
Well, if they're not a parking lot as you hope next year, you think they can plan it maybe better, assuming no one else steps up to display the lights? The funny thing would be is if like SeaWorld or Universal got the Osborne lights and put them out to display.
Could you imagine SeaWorld getting that?
Imagine Disney's head explode.
Oh, my God. See, so here's the thing. When we were talking about this, we had a feeling that they were at 100% capacity and that this would happen.
Yeah.
What I'm not fond of is clearly the water park. I think it's hot trash, but
it's not the best water park in Central Florida. I 100% agree.
We had that conversation though.
Slides.
Right, exactly. It's a parking lot with slides.
It's not themed. There's no shade. You can see it right there from the intersection. It's like a down version of Wet and Wild. It's like the dollar store of Wet and Wild.
Exactly. That's a perfect description of it. But what's cool is we had that conversation. It would be interesting to see Disney take this back and not necessarily have an Osborne level kind of thing, but they have room in that park to where they could put some kind of Christmas spectacular thing going on, give Kids the World Christmas spectacular, and all the proceeds go to them.
Yeah.
Disney has yet to step up and do that. But if a place like SeaWorld or Universal did, bro, that would be next level.
I don't think they could do it at, well, Magic Kingdom would be out. EPCOT would be questionable. They couldn't do it probably at the studios, but at Animal Kingdom, they could probably, that or ESPN World. But I would probably go with Animal Kingdom, throw the lights around it.
I mean, it would be cool to go back to Hollywood Studios. And truth be told, Hollywood Studios needs all the help it can get right now.
Yeah, but there's no place to like really truly do it because you got Star Wars and Toy Story.
I was going to say where they were is completely gone now.
So that would leave Animal Kingdom basically to do it around the main perimeter walk path.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something they could work it out, though. Yeah, and they could even do it at Disney Springs, let's be honest.
Yeah, but then
they did a walkthrough with Christmas trees at Disney Springs. I'm pretty sure that whole back area there, over by where the Christmas trees were, they can do a whole thing back there and have it.
Not going to be that big.
Nothing but give Kids the World stuff. But anyway, if you're in town, feel free to go check them out. Give Kids the World. It's an Island H2O water park. Definitely worth giving the kids the money. If you're into Christmas lights, definitely worth seeing. They did a good job with the lights. I will give them that. I don't think that that's the right venue for it. And I would love to see SeaWorld, if you're listening, step up and take on the Give Kids the World Christmas spectacular lights and make it a whole section of your park during the holidays. And
the part that I kind of missed was, the houses being lit up, but also there were individual houses that like the different parks and companies had decorated.
Yeah.
So like Disney decorated a house, SeaWorld decorated a house, Universal had a house.
Right.
All of them do, yeah.
So Crayola, all of those. So seeing, those kind of displays, we really didn't get that. They still had the Christmas tree stroll where they had all of the sponsors who did Christmas trees and stuff like that. So that was really cool because there was a lot of those. So, and then they had a tribute to the military.
Yeah. Yeah, but they had it at the other place too, But I really hope that this was a temporary thing and they're not, doing a future contract with Island H2O because I just don't think.
Or better planning.
Yeah, it was a last minute thing. In their defense, it was a last minute thing. So, but go check them out. Very cool.
It still gets you in the holiday spirit.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And I made a separate
places,
donation, so I mean,
yeah. And there was
to
places,
H2O.
No,
there was like selfie stations and places that you could do family photos and stuff like that. So
and that's the
it
thing.
was nice.
That's the thing about Island H2O. They were trying to do like a social media themed water park. It doesn't work.
No.
I mean, it just fell across the board. So anyway,
Right.
moving
Not
on.
about Island H2O because it wasn't about Island H2O. It was about Give Kids the World.
Yes,
So,
you're 100% correct. We're moving on.
yes.
Travel advisory, ladies and gentlemen. We got this word in just today. MCO is having an issue with receiving airline fuel.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there was some weather that caused the delivery to be delayed. So there is a good chance that there's going to be flight delays coming through MCO here relatively soon. I don't know if it's going to affect Christmas holiday travel. Hopefully it won't. But if MCO doesn't get fuel soon, we're going to have issues.
Yeah.
So
Prepare for delays.
yep. So just keep that in mind. If you have flights leaving MCO and it's delayed, that's probably the reason why. Simba joins the podcast.
Better be delayed than to run out of fuel mid-flight.
Well,
Exactly. That's a great point. That's a great point. On to bigger and better things. Obviously, the biggest news since our last podcast.
that came out right after the podcast.
Yeah, right after we
literally, I
finished.
got home.
Son of a gun.
We're like as soon as we finished the podcast, all of a sudden, breaking news.
Right.
Yep.
Seriously.
My God.
Got home, opened my Facebook. I start seeing it. We're blowing each other up.
What?
I know.
I mean, unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been living in a cave for the last week and a half, the biggest news happened right after we finished the last podcast. Bob Chapek is gone, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone. Mr. Bob Iger has returned as the Disney CEO. And Disney released a statement this week, but I wanted to play a little music, little mood music while I read the statement.
Oh, good Lord.
This is a direct quote. No. Listen, we are not gonna lower ourselves by playing that kind of music, sir.
Oh.
Disney released a statement. We'd like to thank Bob Chapek for his service at Disney over his long career, including navigating the company through unprecedented challenges of the pandemic. The chairman of the board said in a statement, the board has concluded that Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period of industry and transformation. Mr. Bob Iger is uniquely situated to lead this country into the pivotal period. We'd like to thank Mr. Bob Paycheck for his service.
See ya, but not see ya. I think he got to keep his pay and stuff for the contract, too.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, my God.
I think I heard the final straw was how he basically exaggerated a little on the Disney streaming, and that was the final straw because it was losing a lot of money.
It lost a ton of money, and he had kind of fudged the books to make it look like they were making money.
Not happy about the new ad program one that just rolled out.
Yeah. So
well, not only that, but the CFO, was it McCarthy? Yeah. Apparently, she had gone to the board and had said a few choice words about him, which
Quite a
helped
few
cement the.
Yeah, enough upper ups were on the way out, and it's like, okay, do we lose everybody or we lose him?
Yeah.
So the Disney board of directors said Iger has agreed to serve as the Disney CEO for 2 years with a mandate from the board to set strategic direction for renewed growth. And also to identify a successor.
I think
so.
Article that I know you sent us, but I don't know if you posted it with Abigail Disney.
Yeah,
that was a really good article.
It was, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see her look, she's got no experience as a CEO. She's got
she's not going to.
She's a name. That's all she is.
But her comments and stuff, normally she's just like, even though she's at Disney, is just so brutal. But that was probably one of the most level-headed statements. Like that entire thing, when you read it, was really well worded on her behalf.
Agreed. Do I think that she can move in and do a great job?
Oh, no.
Well, here's the thing. She's not qualified for the position, but I think she would be very popular. I'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's very cast member forward
Yeah.
on supporting them,
Mm-hmm.
and there would be a lot of positive on that and stuff. They need to at least put her in a position that way she's like,
She gains
unionish,
experience and
Well, she has something to do with employee incentives and better pay, better benefits.
But if they bring her off the street to put her in a CEO position and she's not ready, it could be destructive for Disney.
Well, no, Disney won't do that. They've already got their people in line that they want.
So in addition to Bob Paycheck, his top lieutenant, Kareem Daniel, and Arthur Bachner, who is in charge of communications, has resigned as well. So the whole top three in Paycheck's circle are gone, thank God.
Everything the light touches.
We've already started hearing changes coming down the line through our means of media, talking about the reservation systems, talking about price adjustments, because Iger feels that Disney's too expensive. So I've never heard Disney ever lowering their prices, so it'll be interesting to see how he mitigates that. Others areas that he said that he has as a priority, and this is the shocker. This is like the wow moment. Repairing the working relationship with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So apparently Iger and Chapek didn't get along to begin with. It's no secret they've knocked heads across the board for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Paycheck is gone, Iger's coming in trying to clean up the mess.
And in some ways, I feel Iger did set him up with a pandemic coming. He knew what was coming this way. All you had to do is watch across the ocean. So in some ways, he kind of did put him in a position to...
You're not wrong, man. 1,600 CEOs of all the major companies resigned right before the pandemic. You can't tell me they didn't know about it.
And I mean, even going back to that Argo, Abigail Disney even said, as strategic as Iger is and how he does things, his exit was so left field and so sporadic on how he did it. He jumped real fast, where it was like, instead of doing it in steps like he normally would do stuff, he was just like, I'll see ya.
Yeah, and that was majority of the CEOs of all the major Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
They all did that. They were like, yeah, we're out. Bye.
Yep. And now that this is over with to a certain degree, he's like, all right, I'll come back and straighten everything out and look like a hero.
Exactly.
So,
and then the other thing that he's already said was the financials to Disney he's focused on. So he said that he will only accept a $1 million a year salary.
Well, he doesn't need the money, but that's good.
So compared to Chapek's $36 million a year plus incentives, Bob Iger's salary is only going to be $1 million a year. There are incentives that he's going to get, clearly.
Yeah, he'll get some kind of bonus for performance.
Right, but
he'll get $1 million a year salary and
that's according to
$35 million bonus.
Right, so that's according to the SEC, but he's only making $1 million a year. So that's.
I wish I was only making $1 million a year.
Yeah, well, compared to the others, right?
Oh, I know.
So, ladies and gentlemen, reason to celebrate.
Yep.
If you are a fan of Bob Chapek, I'm sorry, do better. But I digress.
Wow.
Let's circle back.
Maybe the H2O will hire him to run it.
Right?
God, I hate that water park. Okay, let's move on to EPCOT. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but the Journey of Water experience is expanding, and now you could see the gorgeous Tafiti from the construction area.
Yeah.
I've heard.
And she looks awesome.
I can't wait to see
Yeah.
it.
She looks
I've
awesome.
seen photos.
So the Journey of Water experience is located in the World Nature neighborhood of EPCOT, which is the brand new portion of it that's still not done yet. But you could see Tafiti in the back, and she looks amazing. Journey of Water is set to open late 2023.
I wish they'd go back to their original observatory plans. That thing looked cool.
Yeah.
And bring back the Mary Poppins ride that they were supposed to build.
Right. Maybe Iger will bring all of that back.
That'd be nice. Put it back to
knows?
what, if you build it, they will come.
Right.
You're not
like
wrong,
Spaceship
bro.
Earth needs the revamp badly.
Don't be surprised they put some kind of system in there to prevent people from climbing out of those cars. Because there's just way too many people climbing out. That one chick that climbed out and sat down.
Sat
Like, what are
down.
you doing right now? Like, ridiculous.
People are idiots.
Yes.
Good news coming out of Animal Kingdom. We don't get a lot of Animal Kingdom news, right? So this is cool. Animal Kingdom announced that they are debuting a new projection sequence on the Tree of Life to celebrate the opening of Avatar, The Way of Water in theaters.
yes.
Not
Super
an
cool.
Avatar fan.
Now,
No.
No. But I'm
Well,
excited
and-
about the projection.
And who was the producer?
Cameron.
Cameron.
yeah.
He's actually in talks with Disney about updating Flight of Passage.
And what's interesting about that, I heard the same thing. What's interesting about that is he waited till Iger took office back, and then he had those talks. Just a little tidbit there.
Better
He's-
working relations.
He's
Yeah.
already had a meeting with Iger about updating Flight of Passage. So Flight of Passage was the number one ride at Disney for a long
I
time.
think it still is.
I don't
Wait
know.
until Tron opens. We'll see.
Yeah,
Well,
Tron's going to blow
yeah.
everybody away. So, yeah.
I still would
But
love
very cool.
to see the Shanghai Pirates ride make it over here somehow.
I know.
That thing is phenomenal.
I've seen pictures of that. That would
Oh,
be
I've done POVs on
amazing.
YouTube, and it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Avatar's filmmakers Lightstorm Entertainment partnered with Walt Disney's Imagineering and Disney Live Entertainment on the new sequence, which debuts in the park. Avatar Way of Water makes its theatrical debut.
We're having problems speaking today.
Not at all.
Okay.
On Friday, December 16th. So good on Animal Kingdom. Brand new stuff coming to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Very cool. Disney has also announced that the new annual pass discounts for Walt Disney World Resort hotels for stays between January 2nd, 2023 and April 30th, 2023. The discount rate gives up to 25% on the rooms and is available in most of the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. Depending on which hotel you select is what the percentage of the discount is. So go to their website, check it out. But when you click on it, you'll see that there is a ton of different discounts available depending on what those
Probably the tier
hotels are.
levels.
But
and stuff.
speaking of discounts for annual pass holders, there's two other things in the works also. Starting tomorrow, December 12th through December 23rd, the annual pass holder discount goes from 20% to 30%.
Nice.
So that is really nice. So that's on merch and, select restaurants, blah, blah, blah.
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs. And then over at EPCOT at the International Festival of the Holidays, the holiday kitchens, so like the kiosks, pass holders can get 20% off food and non-alcoholic beverages when they're using a cashless payment,
Nice.
which they normally do not do discounts at those kiosks. Even like cast members,
Oh, I know.
so
Employees
for them
didn't
to
even
do-
at like Universal, and I remember when I worked for Disney, anything that was considered ODF, outdoor foods, you did not get discounts at those particular spots.
Yeah,
Right.
so that is also from December 12th until December 23rd. So if
That's
you're
good.
in Epcot and you're a pass holder, take advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of our folks that come into town typically don't get a chance to take advantage of the pass holder stuff, but there's a lot of people that aren't from here
Mm-hmm.
that do take it, that have pass holders, are pass holders, I should say, and take advantage of it. So
Oh, yeah.
And it's not all the the holiday kitchens. There's
Select ones, I'm
there's
sure.
select ones, but it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 of them.
I know it's not
So-
Disney,
Pretty good.
but I just
Yeah.
had something from the tribute store Michelle brought me. It was the gingerbread like oatmeal pie, had butter or marshmallow cream. Oh my god, it was so good yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Oh, it was.
Oh, I want one.
So I literally just brought this up. Hotels that you could save 25% on most days, Sunday through Thursday, from October 23rd to November 17th, and so on and so forth. Animal Kingdom, Boardwalk, Coronado, Floridian, Old Key West, Riviera, Saratoga Springs, and Yacht Club. 20% is Art of Animation, Port Orleans, both sides. 15 is a whole list, Copper Creek Villas, Wilderness Lodge, All-Star Everything, Animal Kingdoms, Boardwalk Villas, Caribbean Beach, Contemporary, blah, blah, blah. And then 10% is Pop Century.
Anything with a death box.
Yeah, don't get me started. Okay.
Really,
so,
Andy?
us-
Don't get him on his soapbox, please.
You want me to bring up zebras?
No! You guys suck.
moving on.
Yes, please.
Speaking of annual pass holders, good segue there, Dave Indy. Universal has announced that the pass holder lounge at Universal is moving.
Yeah, I thought they were opening a second one, but I'm kind of surprised they're moving
Yeah,
it. Unless maybe they're going to
interesting.
see how it works in the one versus the other word. See
I
if they
think-
need to.
Are they going to be doing something there along that corridor?
I don't know what they're going to do with that spot. I know Brown Derby, the hat place there, because the Brown Derby at Disney is a restaurant, but the one there at Universal is being refurbed. So I don't know if they're doing stuff in that area and just trying to update it and so forth. I mean, they
we'll just
moved
have to
out
wait and
the photography stuff, so they may be making a longer story even because
Well-
the photography moved out.
Yeah.
Minions area, I got all on that coming up, but so who knows?
For those of you who don't know, the original location of the Universal Annual Pass Holder Lounge is the Studio Styles on Hollywood Boulevard in Universal.
near the Bournes across
Yeah,
from
right across
Bournes.
from the Bourne there. Yeah, right. But now it's moving to Toon Lagoon in Islands of Adventure. Going to be somewhere near the Betty Boop stuff.
Actually, they're
right?
taking over Betty Boop's store. So Betty Boop was closed down. They gave her a paint job for the store, which I have a feeling was in preparation for this.
Right.
And then Betty Boop basically opened back up with merch for the holidays, and then it closes back down after the holidays. And then at sometime in 2023 is when they're going to open the Pass Holder Lounge with a supposedly they're hinting at like a Betty theme. And then the one that's at Studios actually closes at the end of this month. So, but speaking of that, it made me think the Hello Kitty store, your favorite,
Your favorite.
that is slowly permanently closing. There were sections they just redid the generic floor. I wonder if they're going to try to do something in that corner or do something in that area all the way down. Because I mean, they've moved out the Photoshop kind of used to be able to do and be like thrown in different green screens throughout the park. Now you got the Pass Holder Lounge. You got Hello Kitty area that's slowly permanently closing and being forced out in sections. So that whole
Are they going to
section,
be using that space for Minions?
No, Minions is
No.
more around the opposite direction.
Okay.
But they got to be doing something to like
Yeah,
slowly
'cause
shove
everything
everything out in that.
is-
The only thing that's still there is the soda shop, basically, where you can get the milkshakes and everything, which I never took as much advantage as I should have in my fatness there.
Well,
I don't know if I've ever been in there.
They are. It's the one that looks like a pharmacy.
Yeah, no, I know where it is. I just don't think I've ever been in there.
it brings up an interesting topic of the fact that it would be cool to have an annual pass lounge in both parks. But take note, Disney, this is what you do for your annual pass holders.
Better yet, they theme it in areas like put one in maybe Jurassic somewhere and theme the annual pass holder lounge. Put one like they're going to do if the Betty Boop is actually a themed one, kind of like a Club 33 but pass holder style.
Right. And they used to have a Chase Visa lounge
Yep.
for Disney
That was
Chase
kinda
Visa
neat.
holders.
I
but
stepped in
That
it
was pretty
one
cool.
time just to see
Yeah.
what it looked like.
yeah, we were in there a couple
There
times.
There used to be a lounge for military personnel.
Yeah.
That was in back of Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
at
When
Epcot.
Siemens was the
And Disney
sponsor.
had, or Universal had the Amex lounge right over there by Monsters.
Yeah.
Yep.
As I'll say, that one I went into once as well just to see what it looked like.
I
and that
think
was kinda
Disney
neat.
needs to step up and take care of their pass holders a little bit more. I'll have to call Bob.
Yeah,
and
get
we'll
on it.
have a conversation.
Just get the right Bob.
Right, exactly. Speaking of Universal, the great movie Escape is now open at City Walk. We're super excited about that. If you haven't heard about that, that is the escape room that it used to be the Groove nightclub.
I'd like to go
Yeah.
and try that. I think we
And
should
so,
all go
definitely.
one night.
Yeah. I was say Michelle's always wanted to do one of those.
Yeah.
And it's obviously an escape room, but it's Universal movie themed.
Yeah, you got Jurassic on one side, which I'm not really thrilled about doing that one, but I want to do Out of Time. I want to do Back to the Future Out of Time. And especially since Doc Brown or Christopher Lloyd reprised his role for that, and it's again regarding Biff doing something.
Right.
That one I have a feeling is going to be, to me, a lot better than some like dinosaur trying to eat me or something.
Right.
That you got to escape the dinosaur. Ooh.
Tickets for the experience are available online. They start at $49.99 per person. You can also book up to 6 guests in a group, and your experience may include multiple parties. Pricing will depend on the date. You can also book a private escape adventure for up to 8 people, starting at $300 plus tax.
And they just rolled out merch. I just saw that recently already. They've got the hoodies, the shirts, the keychains.
Of course they do.
The keychain was kind of neat because it looks like a key, like a skeleton key with the half and half and stuff, a puzzle and a little tube and stuff. So
Yeah. So definitely worth checking out, without
Yeah.
a doubt. So
they need axe throwing. That's all.
Right.
there's a place over by where I work that's got axe throwing, but it's not very big. So
Yeah. Michelle tried her hand at that at the IAPA. So,
I don't think you're allowed to be near sharp objects anyway, Dave.
well, that's why I threw the axe away.
Oh, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Mr. Dave Indy, with your Universal news.
Yep. So let's see what's going on. Oh, speaking of, since I'll keep it on a high, favorite things, Fast and Furious ride. They got a sponsor now.
Really?
Napa.
Are you serious?
Really?
Napa has stepped up and now is the official
Stop it.
sponsor. Don't ask me.
Stop it.
Why? It's a sinking ship.
Well, maybe because they have parts to fix
Maybe
it. I
that's the
don't
reason
know.
why they have a sponsor,
Yeah.
because they need to fix the. Oh God. Oh God.
So, yep. So Napa is now the official sponsor of that ride. So,
Interesting.
Can't say I'm excited about that, Dave.
yeah. Well, I mean, Disney's been doing sponsors for years. They
I
can't
was
build
gonna
anything
say,
without
yeah.
a sponsor. So this is the first I think Universal's
Fast
ever
and Furious, sponsored by Napa.
thrown. Yeah. So when shit breaks down. So, and then I mentioned this on the last podcast, and it did happen. There's a large Krampus figure now over at the All Hallows Eve store at IOA. Basically, they teased that Krampus was coming, and now they have a huge figure over there for you can get your photo with. I'd still like to see them actually do like a large person as a Krampus. They'll say that's very big overseas.
Yes, it is, especially in
Yeah,
Germany.
Oh yeah, Krampus
Yeah.
parades and stuff,
Yeah,
and
there's
some of those
Krampus
costumes.
festivals
Oh yeah,
and
some of those
stuff like
costumes
that,
are just
yeah.
take your kids, see the creepy dude.
Right?
Also, if you're in the parks, there are now 13 new Harry Potter wands available. I did post that on our Facebook page.
Yeah, some of those
So,
looked really cool.
They do. And some of the parks each now have their own exclusive. So if you go to Japan, they have an exclusive. Hollywood has an exclusive.
Are they interactive?
Yes.
Yes.
These are all new ones. So,
I have not had a chance to see that yet.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
some
definitely.
of them are really, really cool looking.
Definitely. So kind of excited on this one, kind of eh. Eve returns to Universal. However, it's not City Walk. They're going to do kind of like they did for the 4th of July. It'll be in the Studios Park. They'll have DJ music in front of the bandstand area. They'll still do the fireworks or the pyrotechnics and stuff. It's included with your mission to the park. So they're going to do basically, again, fireworks stuff running from 6:30 at night all to 1 a.m. in the morning. on it. So
So it's not going to be a special event. It's just being included in the
it's
park.
included, kind of like the 4th of July when they did stuff. So I mean, the 4th of July one was cool, but it was kind of neat when Eve had its own separate event.
Yeah, they didn't hit capacity on 4th of July, though, did they?
I don't remember if they did or didn't on that one, but as more and more people venture out, definitely will be worth the see on that one.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to Universal for New Year's Eve this year. I think we're going to look at SeaWorld.
About SeaWorld.
Bro.
SeaWorld, bro.
Ugh.
Bro.
So I'm going to wear that shirt too. SeaWorld, bro.
That's awesome. So
This is my life, folks. This is my life.
kind of exciting to sink home. NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell had confirmed Epic will open in summer of 2025 at a conference back on the 5th of December in New York. So it is still on schedule to be open.
Have you seen the latest pictures?
Oh, I have.
They got
No.
buildings up already.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
They got the man-made lake done. They got the buildings up.
They've got
everything.
it's gone a lot of vertical. In fact, they've been.
Damn.
It's a flat
All right.
parking lot. They have painted lines. I think they're expecting after when they start wrapping and really going full speed, about 10,000 construction workers on site a day.
Ooh.
Yep, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder it's getting done quickly.
So,
And I thank God every single day that I do not work around there anymore.
Right? Oh my gosh.
since
Can
I'm
you
on
imagine?
that one, I'll stick to that area. Track has actually already been started to be installed for Epic's dueling coaster. It's the space-themed one that's actually going to be a hub out of the hub area and not one of the lands on that one. It's going to be the size, track length of probably Velocicoaster. On that one, it's supposed to be the most intense one, and it's also Mach who's building it on that one. They have a patent for something called, like, let me see, a patent by Mach Ribes. It's a dueling roll element. Basically, we'll have one track inverted on one way up and the other inverted on the way down, so the trains twist around each other on that one. And it's also being rumored to be called Star Falls Racers, to stick with the space theme on that one. But the track basically color is matching the logo for Epic
Okay.
on that one. Another cool thing I heard is the arches when you enter Epic, it's going to be taller than the ones at studios right now. And those are pretty good size arches.
Wow.
So the arches is going to be huge on that one.
Huh.
It's still up in the air whether or not the hub is going to be free to enter or not, because where the arches are, it looks like turnstile entrances. But each land, and even Jeff made a comment about when conventions are going on, how they're going to get influx to where people will either visit everything or just come to visit a certain land. So it almost makes it sound like, again, the rumors were each
Individual
land would have its
tickets.
own ticket
Yeah.
on that one, which is also kind of neat because if a land hits capacity, they can just close off one land instead of the entire park
Right.
for people. And they're going to have all their sit-down restaurants are going to be in the hub area. So there's supposedly an Italian one. It looks like a Chinese. There's a barbecue one, a sea one. There was a burger one that may have been scrapped on that one. But each area, it's basically the 4 elements, well, 5 counting space or ethanol on that one. So each one's going to have its own theme. Like Atlantis, I think, is going to be one. The barbecue is, I forget the name of it. Yin Yang is one and stuff. The Italian one is like not cannoli, but something close to that. But each one is also going to, that one is
Yeah,
supposed
Bill
to
and
be,
cannoli.
yeah.
You have my attention.
All of a sudden,
Go
his
stay at-
eyes were
I'm just going to say
"What?"
this. Stay at the club level at Hard Rock on a Saturday night. It's free cannolis on Saturday nights.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut your dirty mouth right now.
That I know when it's cannoli night because Michelle does not eat sugar, but she comes home short but stupid, as I refer to it, because she's just so high on cannoli
Oh
sugar.
my God. Cannoli night at Hard Rock Live.
It's the meatballs.
live
well,
or the hotel?
hotel.
Oh, the
You gotta
hotel.
stay at the club level. Yeah. Right after, when they're having their happy hour free alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is usually like beer
And they have
wine.
cannolis there?
Yeah, on Saturday nights it's Italian night, so it's cannolis and the meatballs are really good.
Something tells me that the
Bill's-
club level hotel room will be booked soon.
Game over.
Oh yeah, I'll have to see if Michelle can smuggle me some. To
Make
you.
some phone calls. Make some phone calls, Dave.
She brings some. home
Otherwise,
sometimes.
I'm shelling out the money for a club level hotel.
I'm sure on a
just
Saturday
saying.
I can get you some. But
My God.
and last but also that whole area for the hub area at Epic, before I jump back over to the main parks, 25-acre section. That hub is 25 acres.
Yep.
That is one big ass hub.
Yeah.
Indeed it is.
So
Indeed.
I'm curious how they're going to run a parade, because there is a future parade building that's supposed to go in by the hotel. And they're also going to have fireworks, because there's a firework launch area back in the back around the lagoon.
Yeah, because they did testing when Bill was at Lockheed.
Yeah, I am so glad I'm out of there.
So
You have no idea.
Oh, I bet. So obviously the biggest news coming out of Universal, besides the opening of the escape room, is they have officially announced Villicon. Yep, Villicon Minion Blasters is coming. That one is going to have you going against the Vicious Six, but I also noticed like Vector's in there and a couple of other people from other cartoon or previous Minion ones. So it's not just that. So you're battling them. You're basically there to create mayhem. I have a feeling it's Toy Story, but it's a moving sidewalk, kind of like at the airports and so forth, or aquariums. So you're going to be actually standing on a moving thing. It's not taking the entire Shrek building, because they are leaving the one theater that they never used and converting it so they have a spot for HHN every year again. And then additionally, we will be getting a Minion Cafe, kind of like Hollywood has. So they expect the menu to be the same, but they're referring to that area now as a Minion Land, since you will have Despicable Me, the Minion Villicon, and the restaurant. But they also said other surprises to come. So I don't know if it'll be other Illuminations characters or stuff Minion related that they're going to do in that area. So I'm excited. I'm a Minion fan, so I like how they've tied the movies in, especially the younger ones with the Rise of Gru. I actually liked it. So
Right. The Rise of Gru was actually pretty good.
I did. I was going to say, and I liked how certain people, Dr. Neforio and stuff was in it at a younger version. So they kind of aged everybody appropriately in these movies to kind of tie everything in. So
Very cool. Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Mr. Dave Indy, with your Universal news. And now we will bring in the lovely Tanya.
Aw, thank you.
All right, don't get a big head. With your Disney news.
Wow. So, it's that time again.
Oh, God, yes. Here we go.
is she going to quote somebody?
No. Stop it. It is time for Salt and Straw's limited edition flavors for December.
I will give you credit. There is one
The
on there I
holiday
will try.
series.
Sure, what is it? Like peppermint and
Castor oil.
castor oil? Exactly, bro. Are you serious?
No. Okay, so first one. Almond brittle with salted ganache.
Almond brittle with salted ganache.
Yep, it's
Not a big
chocolate
brittle
coated
person.
almond brittle with hunks of creamy chocolate ganache swirled in a vanilla ice cream.
I'm convinced they hired her to promote that ice cream place. Just saying.
They really didn't. I wish they would, but you know. Duantas Tarmana spiked eggnog.
I'm sorry. You want to say that one more time?
No.
What?
Okay, so
What did you just say?
Milana's what?
Duantas.
Alyssa Milano. What?
Oh,
What?
Stop it. Anyhow, rich, silky custard ice cream spiked with notes of oaky vanilla from Termana's Reposado tequila and a splash of Amontillado sherry.
You have my attention at tequila,
Oki from Finoki.
but not real tequila because they can't sell alcohol ice cream, although it's out there.
Unless they burn off the alcohol.
Why couldn't they?
Well, I guess they could theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting shit-faced on ice cream.
Anyhow, gingerbread cookie dough.
That one has my attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
So homemade molasses cookie butter and bits of freshly baked gingerbread cookies layered in a rum royal icing ice cream.
Now, if you're a fan of gingerbreads,
I love gingerbread.
like
Oh, so
okay,
do I.
straight up, that's a must. I like gingerbread. I'm not in love with gingerbread.
I'm in love with
Oh, yeah.
gingerbread.
On the way here, I had the Little Debbie's 2 little gingerbread men.
Next one, peppermint cocoa. House-made peppermint fondant swirled, hand-drizzled in a rich cocoa ice cream, which sounds delicious as well.
I mean,
No, I stopped at gingerbread. After that, I'm not listening.
I mean,
And
okay.
last but not least, the Great Cookie Swap.
This sounds interesting.
Quintessential holiday cookies, snickerdoodles, Marionberry thumbprints, chocolate almond bark, and molasses cookies sprinkled in a luscious coconut cream.
That's my stripper name.
Coconut cream. Awkward.
Luscious.
I really didn't need to know that information.
You forgot the
Wow,
luscious.
Dave. Wow. Just wow, brother. Just wow.
You forgot the luscious part, though.
Next on stage,
Luscious coconut cream.
luscious coconut cream.
Oh, Lord.
SeaWorld, bro.
SeaWorld. Bro.
Anyhow, so there you go. Salt and straws. These are limited edition till December 31st.
They're more normal than normal.
They are.
They are abnormally normal than normal. Let's be honest.
No mealworms or anything like that in there this time.
Straight up, bro. Straight up. Like, wow.
Licking cat's ass.
All right.
But don't worry, they'll go back to trash here
After
January.
the holidays.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we'll see what January has in store.
We'll see.
I don't know. I am still kind of tempted in January to start the segment doing the salt and straw, like the limited edition flavors. And then you all vote on Facebook which one our podcast host Bill has to sample.
Oh, no,
yeah.
no. I don't remember signing off on that.
Oh my God, I would be voting all the time. How many votes do I get?
I seriously don't recall that conversation in our podcast meeting.
Oh my God, I want that recorded on video each time he tries it.
Like,
I know, right? And I would go live from Salt and Straw with him tasting it. Reaction,
like
and
seriously, like,
I think that needs to be a segment.
I don't remember that conversation ever
Lay
taking
the bright
place.
side, you can have sushi right afterwards.
My
Well,
God,
see,
woman.
exactly. That's his
Jesus.
reward. Oh, come on. It would be fun.
For us.
Yeah, for you guys. Yeah, exactly. Torture for me.
Death box or salt and straw, Bill? Come on.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Or H2O, your annual pass.
I recognize the sarcasm. I just don't appreciate it.
It's at our first time meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next up, Splash Mountain. They have announced the permanent closing date for Splash Mountain. It will be Monday, January 23rd. And with it being closed, it will be rethemed to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And it is set to reopen in late 2024.
All right, now here's the thing. We have to be open-minded about this, right?
Sure.
This Tiana deserves to have a ride.
Yeah.
I honestly believe they should have built one
Get
for her.
own ride. Exactly.
But for the traditionalists, this is a nightmare. For people who feel that this is the right direction that Disney needs to go, it's a positive. So depending on what side of the fence you tend to lean on, it all, somebody's happy, somebody's not going to be happy, right?
Exactly.
And
I mean, Disney is always changing and evolving. So
They rethemed Guardians or Tower of Terror out in California with
As
Guardians,
Guardians of the
and
Galaxy.
everybody loves it.
yeah,
It's a big hit. So, I mean, there are positives that can happen. I just don't like where the position is. I think they should have stuck with something Western still
yeah,
because it's in
you've got
frontier land. It's not
yeah,
New Orleans.
Yeah,
So I don't know how they're going to try to like fit that into the New Orleans theme unless they retheme all the frontier land and maybe shift frontier land around because
I
they
don't know.
can expand going around the lake basically and do more of a frontier on the other side and bring the bayou around.
Right.
Well, they were hinting at something being built behind
Villains
Tom
and
Sawyer's Island.
Yeah, at one point, Villains was going to be built over there.
Yeah.
Was the rumor at D3 or 23,
Yeah.
and as well as what was it? Not Milana or something, or Tangle, or they were going to build something, or Zootopia was going to be over at, I think, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
So,
that
but
over in the dinosaur.
That was Milana or whatever.
Moana
Sea
and
Witch
Zootopia.
names. So,
But none of that is like set in stone. That was all just kind of.
even the Villain one, as much as I would love to see that more as its own standing park,
I was gonna say that
Right,
would be cool
right.
as a fifth park of Villains. That would be
or put it at
cool.
studios, because at least then it fits a theme. As rip
Yeah,
out.
and I mean Hollywood Studios is already broken up into so many different things. So
Yeah,
why
you
not?
got Toy Story. You
And
could have
another thing.
a Villain Land. You got
Right.
Toy Story Land. You got Star Wars Land. A Villain Land. Rip
It's
out.
coming. Listen, once Epic opens up and Disney gets in there and sees what they've done, they're gonna open a fifth park. You know that.
Yeah, and especially from what I've been told, just the hub alone is supposed to look like Julius Verne, and the detailing. They were actually comparing the hub to Disney's Tokyo Seas in theming.
Wow.
That park, if you've ever seen
Interesting.
theming, is just like mind blowing, because
Yeah.
the Oriental Company is
Yeah.
part of that. So if Universal's even scratches the surface on that,
Yeah.
Disney's got a hell of an up climb to do.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
we'll see.
What else you got?
Disney Cruise Line announces plans for Silver Anniversary at Sea, celebrating 25 years in 2023. So back in July of 1998, the Disney Magic embarked on its maiden voyage.
3-hour cruise.
A 3-hour
Really,
cruise.
From May through September of 2023, Disney Cruise Line will be bringing special entertainment, merchandise, and celebratory experiences to select summer sailings across all 5 Disney Cruise Line ships.
Super, super cool.
Yeah. And speaking of Disney Cruise,
Outstanding segue, dear.
I did what I can.
Outstanding.
Speaking of Bill's empty wallet,
Let's get into this little gem.
Oh my God. Okay. So if you have never been on a Disney cruise, this was our first. And Bill went into it saying one and done.
Yep.
He is no longer singing that tune.
Well, let's keep it in perspective. My wallet is saying one and done. But for those of you who don't know, your humble podcast host and the missus
Yes.
went on Disney Wish for a weekend getaway in the Bahamas.
a
It
birthday gift I
was-
almost guessed.
Yeah, it was. That's true. You almost blew it for me.
If I'd have just said the word cruise by joke, I'd
Yeah.
have nailed it.
She was blown away by that, by the way. But we recently just got back from our Disney Wish experience, and I have to tell you, it was beyond amazing.
If you ever have the opportunity to go on a Disney cruise,
Next
you
level.
need to do it. It is worth every penny that you pay.
That's what I have heard.
Yeah,
It's
so
3 times more than normal cruises, but I've
And-
heard it is worth it.
Well, and
Yep.
not only that, but Disney Cruise Line just recently, for the 9th year in a row, got named top cruise line in the for the Caribbean.
And truth be told, I finally see why, right? So I was a little skeptical going on because I'm like, okay, Disney Cruise, there's no alcohol package, number one. That's a fail. But
But the drink prices were actually pretty reasonable.
not bad, especially for a cruise. But then I'm thinking, okay, the kids are going to be running around like Rugrats, and then we got all this other stuff we got to deal with, and then it's just going to be, okay, maybe not. But when we got on board, number one, yes, there was a lot of kids, but they weren't. The cruise ship was so big, you didn't even
Yeah.
realize it, right?
Mhm.
I will tell you that every aspect of this cruise was absolutely 5-star, mind-blowing, and I wasn't expecting it. The food, the entertainment, the people, the merchandise.
I'll say the staff was
Every-
absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable.
Everybody that we ran across was super friendly, so helpful. Joe Lex, who was our cabin host.
Shout out to Joel X.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And our servers at dinner,
Yes.
they were amazing. What was
Joseph and shoot,
I can't remember the other guy's name,
Chet.
but they were amazing as well.
Norwegian, though, has my attention.
Second guess free.
Second-
Yeah.
What's the other thing say?
Free unlimited open bar. You have my attention.
Airfare, open bar.
Excursions, Wi-Fi. You have my attention.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I thought of you when I saw that commercial while you were on your other cruise.
Jesus.
So back to Disney.
So
Back to the mouse.
when we got on board, the onboard processing was very good. It did not take us long. We were already pre-registered and everything. We got on
Research
board.
went good.
Yeah, exactly. They were gentle, so that was nice. But right away, you walk right into the main hallway there, and it
they
is
announce
absolutely
you
gorgeous.
as you're going on, so it was like the Balcerski family is now
Tanya and her
coming
asshole.
aboard.
Right? Tanya and the guy who's paying for everything. So
Stop.
Mr. and Mrs.
Just
Wallet.
Stop.
yeah. So and what was cool is they were handing out these little magic wish wands that were interactive and
Did
stuff
they look like
that.
the EPCOT one from 2000? Just curious.
I
Remember
don't-
the stupid wand that was on the side of the...
No.
Yeah, but
Well,
no.
a little bit. No,
I
but it was
mean-
just a plastic star wand.
Yeah.
And they had
Said
like this
Disney Wish
opening
on it.
shows, and the shows were cute. They were for the kids, obviously. Lots of characters around.
Oh, there was tons of characters.
The ship was dressed for Christmas, obviously. Big Christmas tree in the middle. It was really, really, really pretty. Everything looked amazing. We got to our room.
Did you
and-
just say Christmas looked pretty?
Well, the ship looked pretty.
Thank God I was sitting down.
leave Christmas out of this, man. Leave Christmas out of this. So
It's
it was a
recorded.
Christmas cruise. Come
It's
on.
recorded.
So obviously we had to do our check in, and then we got to our room and everything was cool. And then right away we had to do our evacuation drill, standard
Yeah,
cruise
mustard.
procedure.
Standard cruise
Yeah.
stuff.
And they had all of our stuff in the room waiting for us. We got like robes, and we got champagne, and we had a whole bunch of other stuff that we had in the room.
Chocolate.
And then
the
special
rose
limited, all
and-
her limited edition Wish stuff. And the room was beautiful, small, a little smaller than what I was expecting, but it was very, very nice. The bed was comfortable. We had the
Yes.
balcony. The balcony
the
was
bathroom
beautiful.
is separated into two segments. So you've got one has a sink and the toilet, and then the other room has a sink and a shower.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It was really cool. The only downside, if there was any downside to the Wish, it was the way that the boat is set up. It's very wonky. You get to dead ends a lot. You have to go down, up,
go up,
over,
to
up,
over.
over,
Well,
instead of
you-
being able to walk all the way through.
You hit that when you got to the higher levels. So from 2 to 11, you could go from one end of the ship to the other. 12 and 13 were broken up by the middle of
Different
the
sections
ship,
and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
that's how
Yeah.
the
Right.
which is
Carnival Vista, which was their largest at the time, was kind of that way.
I was
When I
gonna
took the
say,
mid-sized
to
ones,
me,
I felt like I
that's-
could go straight across.
yeah.
But like you just said, on certain ones, I felt like I had to go up, to go down, to go sideways, to swim off the side of the boat, to get back into it.
But to me, because I enjoy exploring and doing stuff like that, that's something I actually enjoyed because this cruise ship has so much art work.
Oh, wow.
I mean, in every single stairwell, like everywhere you turn, there was just
Disney touches.
Disney touches everywhere. The one restaurant, 1923, there was a Roy Disney side and a Walt Disney side, and it was like one of the dining rooms that you pass through for your dinner seatings, and it touched on like all the different movies that Disney has put out. So there was like cells and statues and, you know, artwork. I mean, it was just really cool because you
Oh, I
just got
bet.
to see so much history of.
They've probably got
you know, the
so much stuff
different-
in archives that they
Oh,
can
yeah.
just slap
And
up on walls.
The food was absolutely phenomenal when we went to 1923. The first
Oh.
night we were underway, the seas were really rough.
Yeah.
I would say
Bill did not
10,
do well.
10 to 12 foot seas. And with my vertigo, it just messed me up, right?
Yeah.
We were in Entanche, which is the fine dining restaurant that you have to do separate appointments for.
Yeah, there's two. There's
And-
Entanche and Palo.
Yeah. And it was like a 5-course meal, and it took a very long time to eat, like 2.5 hours.
7 courses.
7 courses?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but it took forever, and the seas were rough. So eventually it just wore me out, and then towards the end I was just like, just give me the check, man. Like I got to go, like it just, I was not feeling it.
So they do in the beginning ask you if you have any time limits. So if you don't want to be there for 2.5 hours, say that, yes, you do have a time limit, and they'll
pick it up for you.
Courses will, come out.
But the food was
faster,
spectacular,
but,
and
yeah.
the service staff was top notch. It was fine dining. We're talking 5-star. Absolutely amazing that first night.
Yeah, that was a spectacular.
I'm sure
Yeah.
the seas, had it not been an issue, it wouldn't have.
It would have been a perfect
Yeah.
perfect
Yeah, I
evening.
thought of you. Somebody I know was coming back on not a Royal, but a Carnival cruise, and they ran into rough seas. So I wondered how you were doing.
Yeah, that first night was not a happy place, but then things started chilling out, and then the second night was amazing. We'll get there, and then the third night was beautiful, perfect.
That's good.
So we got done with Entanche, and then we were gonna walk around because she was all little Miss Giddy, happy. Thank God I'm on a Disney cruise ship, right? But unfortunately, it was rough out, so we didn't really get a chance to walk around and do much that first night. So second day comes, we pull into Nassau.
We went to Atlantis.
Went to Atlantis. We had a great time there.
Yes, very
Atlantis is beautiful. They've expanded it significantly since the last time I was there. Lots of money there, you could tell.
Oh yeah.
My assessment of Nassau was dead on, if not worse. The city of Nassau right now is going through a transition. They're trying to build up. They're building this huge welcome center for the cruise ships. They're trying to build the area up. Unfortunately, crime is completely taken over, and you can see it. We needed to be escorted to our vehicles, and then the vehicles need to be escorted through town to get to Atlantis. Same on the way back, and it was just like people were everywhere. When you looked out to the people that didn't really understand that Nassau has a high crime area, you could see tourists walking down the street and then people
just kind of
following them.
like
And you could tell
hovering.
that they were sizing them up, that kind of thing. And then,
Yeah, I think I only went to like Fat Tuesdays when I was there or something.
yeah, we were going to try to do a bunch of things, but we got jammed up on time. So we went, once you cross that bridge, the Sydney Port Nay Bridge, right? You get onto Pleasure Island. Paradise Island, excuse
Paradise Island.
Yeah, different place,
me. Different place.
different time in our life.
We're
Yes.
not back in Disney.
But Paradise Island
There's Wild Horse Saloon on
has their own security, has their own stuff, and if you don't have a business there, you're not allowed on.
Right.
So it was much more pristine, much more nicer, a little bit more safer. They had nice stuff. Obviously, the hotel, when I was there, they used to own just a very small piece of Paradise Island, and now they own everything. So those little satellite resorts that were near that resort, they all got bought out, and it's all Atlantis now. Gorgeous. It's about $700 a night to stay there, which is ridiculous, but this was Tanya's first exposure to Atlantis. I've been there several times with the Coast Guard, right? So it was awesome.
The aquarium was very cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the world's
they-
largest or something outside the ocean.
Yeah, it was called
Yeah.
the Dig, and it was kind of set up like an archaeological dig, and so there was all kinds of stuff on the inside, and
Yeah, it was very, very cool. And then we went through the aquarium, and then we went to the pool area. And the only downside to Bahamas in general was the water.
it is cold.
It was
oh
freezing,
my
bro.
God, it was so cold.
Like, jump in our pool right now, and that's pretty much what it was like. I mean,
I
it
believe
was freezing.
Oh yeah.
And so that kind of took away because, like, by the time you got
shrinkage.
right, major shrinkage. By the time you got used to the water, you know what I mean? Like, it was.
Then you didn't want to get out because
Then you were cold when you got out, so it's
Yeah.
just like, this sucks. But they had like they had a lazy river with rapids.
Yeah.
And that was super cool because you're on this tube and then you're literally going through like level 2 rapids. You're like, what?
Like, oh, I was not ready for that first one. I was like, holy crap. I'm like,
So,
no!
and then they had this big
Just
slide.
made a new solid straw recipe.
Right? And then they had this water slide that went through the aquarium where the sharks were.
The clear one and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen that on like Travel Channel.
Which that one was really cool because instead of like zipping really fast through it, once you hit the tube, it's like you almost stop. And then what propels you through is the waves that are coming down behind you. So you're just kind of, floating along this, and there's
Joke's on
like
them.
sharks all,
Right.
around you, eyeing you up. And
Joke's on them. I'm fat. I don't move easily.
So it was a good time.
That was cool.
And then we did, so our excursion was done. We had to go back to the ship. We were trying to get to Margaritaville, the resort in Nassau, but we didn't have enough time. And so we got back to the ship and then got back underway. And they did a lot of circles because the distance from Nassau to where Castaway Cay was is not enough to sail overnight. So they got a circle
Yeah, you could see on
on the TV screen.
On your left.
yeah.
On your left.
Right.
On your left.
Exactly.
So on the TV, if you brought up like the route that you were taking, you could see literally the path was circled.
Yeah. But that's
The
cool
captain's drunk.
because what was cool about that was the night that they did their fireworks show.
Yes.
So it was pirate themed, and we'll show you the videos of it. But it
That
was an
so
amazing
much
show.
fun. Yeah.
I glanced through it on your 9 million photos you had.
Yeah, I mean the entertainment on board this ship is next level.
It was second to none.
Next level.
'Cause
I mean,
we saw the Little Mermaid.
so good.
And we saw Aladdin.
Aladdin.
On the
What
the
did
main
Jasmine
stage.
look like?
Middle Eastern, I guess. I don't know. But we had
She was cute.
the
Thank you.
the pirate show was amazing, and they had Jack Sparrow come down from the ship's chimney.
I did see that on your video.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. And then they did the fireworks at sea, and they could do it in between the islands because they have an agreement with the Bahamas. So anytime they see fireworks coming from a cruise ship, they know it's Disney, right? And then the next morning we pulled into Castaway Cay. But what was cool was we saw 2 shows. We saw the Little Mermaid, and we also saw Aladdin. And they were Broadway level shows. Like they were phenomenal. The lighting, the lasers, the show. But what was cool about Aladdin was,
The genie
the-
was getting some digs in of Universal.
oh my God, bro, I gotta tell you this. So we're watching Aladdin, and the genie is like that funny, charismatic genie like he normally is, but he's using like modern day stuff, right? So that part where Aladdin goes, she's just perfect. She's beautiful. She's this. She's smart. I'm so in love. And then he goes, oh, she sounds like a Hufflepuff.
Wow.
and like he was taking shots at Universal like the whole entire time. It was
It
hilarious.
was really funny.
And then like he was just using all kinds of modern day stuff instead of sticking to the script kind of thing. And then they were kind of doing off, kind of woke a little bit kind of things with it. It wasn't the exact story, but the way they did it was amazing. Like I wasn't crazy
Yeah.
about the direction they took the storyline, but I loved what they did with the genie and everything. And he was just like,
He's an ex-Universal employee.
oh God, he was
Probably.
destroying Universal. I was loving it. I was laughing. So
yeah.
the shows were great.
Mm-hmm.
The food was amazing. They had like this little ice cream bar. They were handing out ice cream cones to everybody, which was amazing. The food was really, really good. We ate at 1929?
1923.
1923. I can't remember the numbers, but the food there was amazing.
You were
And
how old then?
I was 10. Thank you, asshole. I distinctly remember we were eating, and it was Marvel night or something. And this couple that was a table across, they were in, mom and dad, I thought were in the Incredibles outfits, but I couldn't make it out real well. So I was looking over at them to see what they were wearing. And I guess the lady thought I was staring her down. So, like, I totally made her uncomfortable. What she was wearing was the red Spider-Man, but I couldn't see the Spider-Man symbol, so I was trying to figure out what was she wearing. But here I am creeping her out, creeper level 5, because I'm staring at her. But I was just looking at what she was wearing. So when I went to the bathroom. When I came back, she had switched seats with her husband, so that her husband was facing me, and she wasn't. And I'm like, wow, that's awkward. I'm like total creeper number 5 right now. You know, I wanted to apologize, but
I would have. I'd have gone over. Like, I wasn't trying to stare. I was just trying to make out your shirt.
yeah. So, but then we started joking about with our waitress who was super awesome. We saw her the next morning at breakfast.
Yes.
Because you get the same waiters and
Oh, yeah.
waitresses, right?
They work
the
mad hours.
Yeah. So the way Disney cruise is set up,
They follow
like the
you,
first yes. So you have dinner. Like ours was set up. The first night was 1923. Second night was Marvel. Third night was Arendelle.
So they rotate the restaurants.
Yeah.
So it's like you rotate restaurants, but the service staff goes with you, and
Yeah.
you sit at the same table in all 3 different restaurants.
Yep.
So all 3 nights, the people saw you.
So no, because
No,
the
because we
first
did the
night-
special thing.
Yeah, so the first night we were at Enchanté. The second night, I had really wanted to go to 1923.
We were scheduled for Marvel that night.
We were scheduled for Marvel, so we skipped Marvel, went to 1923, and then the third night we
was
went
Arendelle.
to Arendelle, and our servers were freaking hysterical. They're like, the Balserskis, they do exist.
They did
my
show
God,
up. Oh
they
my
did
God,
show
you
up.
are here. You are. We were gonna thinking you guys jumped overboard. You know, like that kind of stuff.
It was
But-
hysterical. But
So, 1923 was amazing, and I was joking around with the wait staff. And, you know, they brought the dessert menu. The food was phenomenal. You can get whatever you want.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so they brought the dessert menu. I'm like, wow, I'll take one of everything.
They brought you one of
They
everything.
brought me
Right,
one of
yeah.
everything. I was like, this is way too much. What are we doing here? She was like, well, you wanted one of everything, so we brought you one of everything. I was like, oh, God, no.
I'm diabetic.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And listen, this cruise did not do well for my numbers. I'm just going to tell you straight up.
Tanya
But-
was slowly trying to kill you. You didn't realize it.
exactly, man. But so the last,
one of the desserts was sugar free.
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
So Arendelle
The
was
salt and
very
straw.
cool.
Actually
That was
quite
the third
delicious.
night. Arendelle was amazing. You literally felt like you were on that Frozen ride at Epcot. Like that's the way the atmosphere was.
Without Norway chicks?
No, there was no
Well,
Norway
there was,
chicks. I was
there
little.
was a trio that would come out and sing and play and dance. But then you also had Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and Olaf
And
that
that-
all came out.
and the-
oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
The clerk from Wandering Oaks. The guy that they had playing this guy, he was perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
Looked like him, talked like him. Every word out of his mouth was, you know, I was like,
and
shut
he even
up.
had like the walk, like the little, you know. I
Oh,
don't
God,
even
it
know,
was
like
ridiculous.
The shuffle or whatever. It
So
was freaking hysterical. And then he would like go and visit the tables and stuff. And he
every 3 seconds,
was
every 3 seconds, dude. It was
awesome.
ridiculous. So the last day, to finish this up, because we're going to drag this out here, we went to Castaway Cay.
Okay.
And we were both very much looking forward to that. We did the 5K.
Yes.
Crazy
And
people.
so we were talking to the girls that were setting up, and they don't have it. The 5K is set up differently now. It's not an official event. It's just like you run it, and then you come back, you show, you know, they give you your medal and, you know, the plastic medal, and that's it, right?
Yes. The start line is right near the bike rental place. So we had gone up to the bike rental place, and Bill's like, all right, I'm here to do the 5K. What do we need to do? You know,
So
that
the
kind of
girls
thing.
are
Get
like,
the hell out of here.
the girls are trying to explain to me what the route is, and it takes you down to where the adult section is.
Serenity Bay.
Serenity Bay, and there's a bar there and the whole 9 yards. And so she pointed it out, and I'm like, so I go down, I get my pina colada, and I run back. And they were laughing. They were like, if you wanted to, sure. We've never heard anybody do a 5K with a pina colada. And I'm like, challenge accepted. You know me, bro.
I came back with 2.
You know me, right? So we start the 5K, and it's hot. You know, I'm loving it. She's dying, you know. And then we get down to the bar, and they're selling these Disney souvenir glasses
So
where
one is in the shape of a coconut, and another one is like a tall
A
like,
bamboo stick. but they're self-sealing. So I'm like, pina coladas in both of those. Let's go. She gets the bamboo stick. I grab the coconut, and then we run back. Right. And so the girl that I was talking to, when I get done with the 5K, I come running around the corner. The girl that I was originally talking to was fixing a bike outside or something. So she saw me come around the corner holding this coconut. She's like, shut up. No, you didn't. I was like, yes, I did. She was like, that's literally the first time I've ever seen anybody do a 5K with a pina colada.
And there were people on the track, like we're passing them, and they're like, is there alcohol in there? We're like, yeah. We're like, pina coladas. And they're like, that's awesome. And basically our whole like mantra for the race.
We have to do the 5K, but we're still on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what I told the girls. I'm like, you know, file this under the when you have to do a 5K, but you're still on vacation.
Makes me think of there's some guy I saw recently in a post that he does 5Ks or more than 5Ks, but he does it chain smoking the whole time.
Oh,
And
God, I saw that.
he always finishes like every year, like way up there in the high numbers, but he purposely chain smokes the whole time.
Oh, God. So the girls were freaking out. They were like,
you have earned these medals.
Yeah, and I was like, do I get anything bonus if I run with the pina colada? And they're like, you have our admiration, and they gave us our medals and everything. And they were freaking out that I did that.
Respect.
She was like, I cannot believe. She goes,
we're
going to
talk about you.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She's like, we're going to talk about you forever.
Yeah,
like we've never had.
Yeah.
Ran with a pina colada. So it was a very cool experience.
Yeah, everywhere we go.
The rest of the time was very relaxing. Castaway Cay is absolutely beautiful, gorgeous.
Yeah.
It really is.
And we don't have to worry about security or anything like that because it's Disney owned.
Disney's on private.
Yeah, and so we did a bunch of shopping there. We had lunch. We hung out, got back on the boat, and then we had one night left to check everything out because we're back in port next morning. And so we took that night to try to see as much as we could. We wanted to do like deck 1 and work our way all the way up. I don't even think we finished.
We got back up to deck 11 and we didn't finish.
There's a group of decks that were just rooms only, so there was nothing there to see, so we skipped those.
That makes sense.
6
then,
through 10 is all guest rooms.
That makes sense.
And then, but so we had a great time. We did the water flume ride that's on
the Aqua
Aqueduct.
Coaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Aqua
And
Coaster.
that was phenomenal.
Was so much fun.
Really, really cool. The best way I can describe it is think Runaway Railroad. It was set up just like that. You're on this raft and it's clicking up this thing and it's got the TV screens just like Runaway Railroad, and they're squirting water at you, and they're the whole storyline's going.
I tell you, it's water.
And then they let you go, and you're sliding down this water slide going through the chimney of the ship, and and then like this one section, you get doused, like you're just absolutely crushed with water, so you're soaked, and then you come around the corner and you're done, and then you're walking off. You're just like, oh God, but. I mean, the whole experience was just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. And I've heard that about the Disney cruises.
So well done. And the food, the drinks, the entertainment. I know I keep saying this, but the staff, the way they got you on, the way they got you off.
Get off.
Like, yeah, I was constantly saying that morning we were leaving, like, thank you for your money. Bye. You know, you know, that kind of stuff. And so.
Take your shit and leave.
But, everything was super smooth, and it was just such an amazing experience. If you ever have a chance to go onto the Disney Wish, do it. It is well worth the money.
Do they have that artist restaurant that changes the color one, the palette or palette?
No, that's on.
I know that was
Wonder. No, that's on.
That one has always
Magic.
fascinated me.
Magic.
I just didn't know if this one had it as well.
No. This one had a bunch of different restaurants. They had the high-end stuff. They had 1923, which was phenomenal because they had all the antique stuff.
Sounds like that's a steakhouse, is it?
No, it's not a steakhouse. It was just a vintage
style
Disney
The theming.
restaurant. Yeah,
Yeah.
the theming was amazing.
It
And
was basically like celebrating 100 years of Disney.
Now,
Yep.
is Wish
Yeah.
permanently stationed?
Yep.
Because I know the giant Royal Caribbean ship is about ready to hit port here too.
yeah, I don't know where
We're
they're
getting
going to put
all
them.
the big ships.
Yeah.
I
And
was to say they are going
Gonna
to
need a
Port
bigger
Canaveral.
right now, Wish is the biggest that Disney has, right?
Yeah,
The biggest and the newest,
yeah.
but I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's like 3 more coming, something like
Yeah.
that. So
Speaking of bigger things, I forgot to mention it. There's a Jaws themed restaurant that's going in the Dr. Phillips area. I posted on our Facebook.
stop it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that made me think of it with boats and stuff.
All right, so we're running long on this podcast. Enough about the Wish. Go check it out. It's well worth the money if you can afford it.
Here's Bill's credit card number.
Yeah. A weekend cruise was like $4,500, but
I believe it.
We'll digress on that. So we're running long on this podcast. We apologize for that. We are going to do away with Ask Indy
Yep.
for this podcast. We will bring Ask Indy back for next podcast, which runs us right into random topic because we want to finish strong here. And in light of what's going on with Bob Paycheck leaving and Iger coming back and all that, I thought it'd be interesting to have this conversation. So how many CEOs have Disney had, and what have they done to contribute to the company? The answer might surprise you. So this is your random topic.
Random topic.
All right. So
Are we guessing?
you can guess. Sure.
I say, if we're counting Iger returning, I would say 6.
Yes. Good guess. You?
I'm going to go with 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tanya's correct.
8?
8, including this new Bob Iger.
Okay. Be curious
So-
to see who I missed.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. So we're going to kind of run through them.
I couldn't
And-
even
and
begin to
talk a
tell you
little
who they
bit
were,
about-
so.
Yeah, talk a little bit about what they've contributed to the parks itself. So these are the CEOs that have run Disney since Walt left. Now, understand that Walt was never the CEO of Walt Disney. He was the founder.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that created everything, but he was never the CEO. He never wanted to be the CEO. So the actual first CEO was Roy.
Yeah.
Walt's brother. Named CEO in 1929, did not become official until 2 years after Walt's death. Roy co-founded Walt Disney Productions after a series of other jobs, including a bank clerk at the First National Bank of Kansas City. He stayed with the company and became the first CEO. When Walt died, before Walt Disney World was completed, Roy postponed his retirement to finish the park, which was named Walt Disney World in honor of his brother.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, Don Tatum relieved Roy of CEO. He graduated magna cum laude from Stanford University, and he had 2 law degrees from Oxford. In 1938, he passed the California bar practicing entertainment law until he became the Disney's production business manager in 1956. Then he succeeded Roy. He was a senior executive for Walt Disney Company for 25 years and played the role of CEO from 1971 to 1976. And he was the first non-Disney family CEO. He was instrumental in helping Roy and Walt Disney World Resort in the building of the EPCOT Center and Tokyo Disneyland. After being CEO, he remained an integral part of the Disney Company and served as a director until his retirement in 1992.
But Epcot didn't open
And
until
then-
82.
The initial design of
Oh,
EPCOT,
okay.
not the actual building of
Got
it. And then he passed away shortly
He was a
after.
dreamer.
E. Cardon Walker. He's the next one, a.k.a. Card. That's what everybody called him. He's the next CEO. He graduated from UCLA and started in the Disney mailroom in 1938. Served in the U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service, sir. 1941 as a flight control officer. And he had worked his way up through the ranks in the camera department as a unit manager for short subjects. Even though his time was relatively short, Walker had made some significant contributions to Disney, besides establishing an international presence in Tokyo Disneyland, he helped develop the Walt Disney World and EPCOT Center designs that you'll see today. He also was founded the Disney Channel in 1982. So, Mr. Walker, Card Walker, founded the Disney Channel in 1982. Shortly after, Mr. Ron Miller, Walt's son-in-law.
That's the one that I don't think did a good job, I heard.
Yeah. So there's something to that, and we're going to go there. So he was Walt's son-in-law. Ron married Walt's daughter, Diane, after meeting her on a blind date at USC. Miller wasn't a popular choice as CEO. As a former NFL player for the LA Rams, many people looked at him as just a dumb jock. Besides serving as CEO from 1983 to 1984, he created the Touchstone label.
Only 2 years, huh?
Yeah. Which allowed Disney to make films for adults without ruining the family-friendly brand that Disney had. He also created the Disney Channel as a brand, kind of building off of the previous dude, and in many ways had first attempts at computer animation instead of paper animation. Miller was removed from his position by the Way of Save Disney campaign launched by Roy E. Disney and fellow shareholders Stanley Gold and Sid Bass. So apparently he was not very popular.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was earlier in the stage and not that far back.
So he was the first one that was actually physically removed because of performance, and then Paycheck is the second. So here comes a very popular one, ladies and gentlemen. We all know this name. Michael Eisner served as president and CEO of a rival studio, Paramount Studios, from 1976 to 1984. Also worked for NBC and CBS, as Kona joins the podcast. He oversaw successes like Saturday Night Fever, Grease, Star Trek, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Cheers, and Family Ties.
Wow.
And because of him, that also started a lot of the back and forth between Universal and Disney, because
Very much so.
Quickly ran to get the MGM studios when Universal announced a park here, which changed the dynamics because him and Comcast basically, going blank on Brian's last name, but basically there was a love-hate on that one. So.
Yep, because of Paramount, right?
Yep.
So when Eisner was passed over for chairman, he left to join the ABC family as assistant to the national program director and then the senior vice president of program and development. The 90s were set to be the Disney decade, quote unquote, and Disney started to make a comeback with successful films such as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Little Mermaid, and others. Disney acquired ABC and ESPN during this time, which were huge and still is.
Yeah.
Disney's Hollywood Studios opened in 1989, which he was responsible for. MGM back in the day. Disneyland Paris was opened in 1992, joined 10 years later by Walt Disney Studio Park and Disney's California Adventure. So he did a lot.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the stuff that we normally see.
Was closed, I think, to bankruptcy or being hostile takeover when he came back as CEO too.
Yeah. So in 2001, despite all of those great things that he's done, he didn't deliver on a lot of stuff he said he was going to. So the board of directors weren't happy with his performance, and he left. So obviously Bob Iger came in afterwards, and he took the company to a whole nother level. There's a whole list of things that he has done. No wonder why he's so popular, right?
Yeah.
He served under Eisner as a president and chief COO from 2000 to 2005. He took over as CEO in 2005 when Eisner stepped down. With a mended relationship between Roy and the Disney company, Roy named him director and remained a consultant for the company. So when Iger took over, Roy said, "I'll stick around," because he liked Iger.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah. Iger started his entertainment company and hosted on his campus news station as a weatherman. He started in ABC in 1974, became the president of the company in 1989 when Disney purchased Capital Cities /ABC, which Iger was the president of. The merger retained Iger as president. In 1999, Disney made Iger president of Walt Disney World International, a division that handles international relations. So Bob Iger is legend status at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
During his time as CEO, Disney was named one of the most reputable companies by Forbes magazine, one of the most admired companies by Fortune magazine, and the most respected company by Barron. Business Week said that Disney is one of the best places to launch a career, and Yahoo named it Company of the Year in 2013 under his leadership. Iger facilitated the acquisition of Pixar in 2006 for $7.4 billion. This all shares transactions with Steve Jobs, who was the top shareholder at the time, and led Iger to be named director for Apple after Jobs' death. In the same year, Iger retained ownership of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which impressed Roy E. as a show of commitment to honor Walt's legacy. His work continues throughout Disney Company to tribute back to Walt, so he showed a lot of love back to Walt, and Roy really liked that a lot. Disney also acquired, under his leadership, Marvel Entertainment in 2009 for $4 billion, Lucasfilm in 2012 for $4.1 billion, which resulted in Disney's ownership of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. He also opened Hong Kong Disneyland, Adventures by Disney, Alani, and the newest member to the Disney family, Shanghai Disneyland. So needless to say...
Also Fox.
Yeah, Fox as well, right?
Yeah.
So this guy crushed it, right? Absolutely crushed it.
Nothing compared to Paycheck, though.
Yeah, here comes... Here comes Bob Paycheck.
Yeah, bye.
Took out the trash. He cleaned a few windows.
Right.
Pissed off a lot of people.
So here's the thing. In defense of Bob Chapek, he had big shoes to fill, right? There was no way that he was going to compare to what Bob Iger did for Disney.
And when he rolled in was a pandemic beginning.
Right,
So he already
exactly.
was rolling into a
So,
snowstorm.
A lot of controversy. We talked about it. Lots of controversy about how Bob Iger left. All the CEOs leaving at 1,600 CEOs leaving all at once. Kind of not cool. So here comes Chapek, who was previously a head of Disney Parks and Experience and Products. He took over as CEO. He orchestrated the largest expansion for Disney Parks, including the opening of Shanghai Disneyland, which was really Iger's deal, nearly doubling the fleet of Disney Cruise Line ships, and huge investments in land and attractions at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Chapek had to navigate through a difficult season in early 2020, going through the COVID-19 pandemic, which turned the world upside down. Chapek oversaw the company in closing theme parks, shutting down the cruise line, and also laying off thousands of employees. So he really didn't get his fair share. He had to deal with the crap.
Yeah.
And so no one likes him. I don't like him. I think he literally destroyed the Disney name. And the fact that Iger is back is amazing.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah, and I think they did it. One of the things that really turned it, he had a whole history of items that went south, but then that whole controversy about Disney Plus and how he put it out there that Disney Plus was a successful venture, and it was nowhere near a successful venture. So
he might have done good under different circumstances, possibly.
He was under a lot of pressure too, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But so I kind of feel bad for the guy.
I agree.
Because he didn't really get a fair shake. But in the same respect, some of the decisions that he did hurt the company more than it helped him.
I agree.
So, it's like, later, dude. You know, we won't miss you. So.
We'll see you at H2O.
Yeah, exactly. I got a water park you can manage. And in a shocking move, November 20th of 2022, Disney announced that Bob Chapek would be stepping down and Mr. Bob Iger would return as the CEO. It's a 2-year period. Like I said, he's only taking $1 million a year, saving Disney billions of dollars.
Give that money to the employees.
That's right. Right back to the employees, which is one of the things that he said he's going to do is get the employees back in love with the company, which is huge.
Yep.
We talked a little bit earlier, we've seen already talks about doing away with the reservation system.
Not for annual pass holders, unfortunately.
Yeah, but getting things back to
but for regular
If you buy a
day
date-specific
tickets,
ticket,
yeah.
you automatically don't have to do the reservation, which
Right.
automatically makes sense.
which is all these improvements are coming.
and
it's gonna take a
in the
while.
Beginning of January, I want to say January 7th, but I'm going to have to look back. The 2 p.m. park hopper thing
Yes,
is
that
going
is going
away.
away.
Yeah.
So yes.
So
now you can,
Iger-
like,
Positives.
yes.
Iger was quoted shortly after being elected as the new CEO. It is with incredible sense and gratitude and humility that I must admit in a bit of amazement that I write to you this evening with the news that I am returning to the Walt Disney Company as the Chief Executive Officer. So good on you. I hope you do great things. I think there's a lot of people out there that are really, really, really excited that he's back.
Disney stock went up immediately afterwards.
Like
Yeah.
$10. Like it was in the low 90s and it went up to like 102, like the moment he announced.
Oh, yeah.
Good on everybody. I think we're in a good place. I think he's going to do good things. He has a 2-year contract. They're already working on his successor. The fact that he was willing to sacrifice what he was doing to return back to the company. It's no secret that Iger and Chapek don't get along. And Iger was already quoted in multimedia outlets not being happy with the direction that Chapek has taken the company. So super cool. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is your random topic for this evening. Talking about the CEOs of Walt Disney World. So welcome back, and
Interesting stuff.
we look forward to the future. So we are super long. My God, this thing's going to be a 2-hour podcast. We better not be careful here. Very quickly, our sponsors, Rockstars and Flowers, always been a huge sponsor for us. Go check them out at rockstarsart.com. Rockstarsandflowersart.com. Super, super awesome. We're only a month away now from the major event.
I was going to say,
So
that's
happy
next
for them.
month already.
Oh my God, it's going to be so amazing. And obviously Scentsy by Christine. Go check her out. She's got all brand new stuff. Keep in mind one thing, folks. Holidays are coming fast and furious, and Tanya and I have not even started our Christmas shopping. Awkward. She said to me today that you have to order by the 15th, which is in 4 days, in order to get your stuff by Christmas. So just keep in mind, tons of Disney stuff on her site. Go to chrissyp74.scentsy.us. Absolutely phenomenal. There is some cool stuff on here. They have Frozen. They have a whole bunch of Frozen stuff. They have an Elsie buddy. They have a Sven buddy who's currently out of stock, but he is super cute. Have you seen the Sven?
I did.
Oh, my
yes.
God. Shut up and get in my cart. Disney Muppets Scentsy Bar. There's a Mickey Mouse warmer, a mini warmer, Hocus Pocus. Bunch of Christmas stuff. Like, phenomenal stuff. So
there was a bunch of Harry Potter stuff too.
yeah.
Is there an ET warmer?
No. Shut up, Dave. So go check them out. That's chrissyp74.scentsy.us. Order your Christmas stuff now because they are going fast. A lot of stuff is out of stock already because of the holidays. You have till the 15th to order to get here by Christmas. So there you go. We certainly appreciate and love all of our sponsors.
Yes.
So thank you very much for your support. And I think that's going to do it, folks. Ran a little bit long on this one, but that's okay.
We had stuff to catch up on.
Yeah.
And now we run
We
into
had a
the
lot to talk
holidays.
about.
So
Yeah. So we've got holidays coming up, folks. We're going to try to see if we can do another podcast here in 2 weeks. Obviously, in 2 weeks, it'd be like Christmas Day, I think.
I think, yeah.
So obviously, that's not going to
So
happen.
maybe like the Friday before or something, maybe.
Maybe we can get it
23rd.
done beforehand, but if not, it'll definitely be in between Christmas and New
New
Year's.
Year's.
yeah.
We'll definitely be able to do at least one.
That
during
one
time
is
period, right?
probably more reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. So
Between family
keep in
and
mind,
everything.
we certainly appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Happy holidays, everybody. Please
Yes.
enjoy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy
Yeah.
New Year, whatever you celebrate.
Salt and straw. I mean,
Let's not go there. But take time to enjoy the holidays with your family and friends. Remember one thing, folks. It's not about what's under the tree. It's about who's around it.
the cats.
No, the cats too. They deserve love. So keep that in mind moving forward. We've been going through hell these last couple of years. So
Yeah.
this is now finally a Christmas that we could probably get together and enjoy. Don't take anything for granted because life is short. So any last words, comments?
SeaWorld, bro.
SeaWorld, bro.
Jeez.
We're going to end it there. If you're in these parks, ladies and gentlemen, have fun, be safe, and we'll talk soon.
You have been listening to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. Please visit our website at worldofudn.com and join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all the latest updates, news, and events from your favorite theme parks. See you in 2 weeks.